welcome to another episode of Common Sense, where we apply common sense to everyday topics. So today, we're going to be looking at whether or not friendship is losing its value and whether we're putting too much demands on our friends. So from my perspective, I think I always say that I think there's particularly in this generation, I think there's a bit of a lost art to friendship, purely because I think we've become very individualistic in how we do things. And I always say I admire my mom's generation and their ability to come together for each other. And sometimes yes, fair enough, I make fun of her and all of her different societies. But when things are actually difficult and when you hit those hard times, you see a not just one or two friends coming to your rescue, but you see them come together as a group, whether it's coming together because your husband's died and donating £2,000 or this. And I don't think our generation has that. You might get it from one or two friends, don't get me wrong. Like I always say, I have two solid friends who I know for a fact that if things hit the roof, I know that if I call them or if something happens, they will step in. But sometimes I do sit back and I look at, maybe not, I admire the fact that there's so many and it's not just one or two. They will literally come together, even if they don't like you that much. They will come together in those moments and put their differences aside. But I don't really see that in our generation.
Look, as you were talking,
I mean, Jude, what is it? What?
You're saying a friend in need.
Yeah.
Is a friend indeed?
Yeah.
I disagree with that though.
Really? So
because
what?
You said somebody's husband died at 2,000. I always say in plenty, that's when we should show our friendship, not in need. So when I'm in need, a friend is not indeed.
But here's the thing, right? And this is the thing. When I say that, but in terms of I'm just using my mom.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I'm using my mom in terms of her societies, but they do things.
So
when I say they do things, they go out to eat.
Yes.
They meet up.
Yes.
They have social events.
Yes.
They do things and they help each other out.
That generation did.
That's what I'm trying to say.
No, they did.
Everyday life.
They did. But our generation now is a friend in need and indeed. That's what they do. So they come when things are going south. It shouldn't be that way.
So you think that your friends only come when things are going south?
Yes, I think that's what it is. They come when things are going south. When you're building and when you should be building together, none of them are there. They don't see the grind. It's like they're almost waiting by their phone to hear, have you heard? Have you heard? It's not where. Have you heard? It's not this. Have you heard? It's business file. That's when they come. Oh, buddy.
Fair enough.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, but that's different. If you don't hear from them throughout the year, and it's only when you're in moments of distress that you feel like they pick up the phone, but purely to basically for gist.
Yes, and also for gossip. So for example, I went to Salzburg recently in Austria. Yeah. And my hotel was next to the mountains. It was snowy and gorgeous and beautiful. I came out on my balcony of my hotel and gorgeous. Took a few shots there and posted it on my status because your WhatsApp will be personal friends and all of that. Less than 3 seconds that thing hit. Somebody's already asked, where's this? And I said, that's my house in Austria. I ain't about to tell you it's a hotel, mate. He said, I didn't know you have a house. And I said, yes, I do. I used to live there. What else? Fake it to live it, mate. You see where I'm coming from? Yeah. So the thing I'm saying is, that generation you spoke of before. Yeah. Yes, they came together when Ubuntu again, a daughter is getting married. The whole mothers just take it as a responsibility. It's like it's their daughter. Yeah. They go always crazy for that person. This, we don't have it. Mm-hmm. Everyone is waiting for that call. She didn't call me to the wedding. I'm not going. She didn't make me this. I'm not doing that. I'm not supporting them. Oh, the daughter is getting married. It's rather too late. So that's our friendship now. Having said that, though, is also the pressure of where we live. Environmental factors have impact on these things. And also, it then opens up the seedy underbelly whether your friendship was genuine in the first place. Because you shouldn't really be a friend in need. You should be friend in plenty, in health. And not just when one is dying or not well, they turn up.
But I know, I get that. But when I say that, once again, when I say that when I see them come together and really stand in, I think sometimes, fair enough. On your when things are good, like your everyday life, yes, let's catch a drink, let's do this, let's do that. I think that's all good and that's fantastic and that's great. But also, when you're in those hard times, it also feels good to have your friends come in. And when I say come in, not come in.
If they really turn up,
not come in for gist.
Yeah, if they really turn up for you.
But come in with solutions.
That's what I'm saying.
Because there's a difference. Because I think sometimes people will come and just be like, to come and be doing...
Misery loves company, right?
Yeah.
That happened to her? Oh, good. Not only me. Misery loves company.
Yeah.
So, friendship is this. What's his name? McMill went to jail before he understood what friendship was really about.
Yeah.
He had loads of people around him when he wasn't really having money, when he was on the street corners, and when he started making money with Batch music. But he said something in one of his songs. He said, those friends he thought he would die for, and when he went to prison, none of them called his son to even leave $1. Something like that, of that nature. Nipsey Hussle, the great, may he so rest in peace, also said, the circle got smaller because not everyone could go.
Yeah.
These are not your friends if they couldn't go during the tough times and with you and build together. I like friends who build together.
Yeah.
It's not just hanging out and drink.
Yeah, of course not.
This thing we're doing today was a collaboration of friendship.
Yeah.
That's why I love my man, Namwizi, a lot. I love that dude. He hears anything, he plugs me into it.
Yeah.
That's the dude for that. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the same I think your relationship is with him.
Yeah.
He plugs you into it. I think Nana is that person for that. And if this thing is paying, it will pay all of us. So that friend is putting bread on our table, or future bread. It's growing the seeds, it's spreading the seeds for us. But there are some people who and they call themselves the friends, you go out to drink and all of that, they will hear a plug for you. They will not put your name out there because they don't want to see you go up.
But that's the thing.
But they're your friends, they're your close circle.
But I also think, I think it's also a thing of like, okay, so I always say there's a Ghanaian proverb which says that, I'll say in my native language and I'll translate it in English. It says that, so if an animal will bite you or if a bug will bite you, it will be from your own cloth.
Yeah.
So I think
enemies of the household.
I think once you start to understand that, and that's something that I've come to realize, that it's not everybody I'll be calling friend. I always say that, especially now as I've gotten older and as my circle has gotten smaller and tighter, I've just started to realize that, it's okay to put people in different categories.
Yes.
And not everybody needs to basically be privy to certain information or be in certain circles. Because one thing that I think in the past I've always been, I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? I have done in the past is that that you have a friend, but in the hearts of your hearts, that there is something that's off about the friendship, in the sense that this person doesn't ever want to see you do well. When you tell them good news, their reaction to it,
there's loads of that as well.
Isn't
from
good.
The reaction.
Yeah,
out of the abundance of your heart you speak.
And it's like once you start to pay attention to these little things, I think that's when you start to realize, and that's when you start to. It's not really about the length of time of how long you've known somebody, or how it's just really how they feel about, because it all comes out in like little things.
When we're talking about friends, so I'm not saying, because I put myself on the pedestal for people to scrutinize. How do you see me? What am I to you?
Yeah.
Am I that type that will run with you and say, let's do that as you come, and as a solution? And possibly you're that type where people come to and it's almost as if it's draining. They've tapped away from you and they've not refilled you.
Yeah.
And they've just gone away. And that same information, I'm going to put it out there. There's somebody I've helped with consultancy and all of that. I actually saved that dude thousands of pounds by providing immigration advice. But it still went behind my back thinking maybe, and when it went pear-shaped, they came back to me. I'm like, well, that's what I was saying all day though. Is it because I didn't charge you? And we said we've been friends from when we was young, from primary school. And with the podcast we do, there are friends, childhood friends who eat together, drink together, go everywhere together, think we're doing things together, coming to tell you that so-and-so said these things about you on your podcast. I'm like, okay, great. What was your rebuttal?
Yeah.
They don't have any because they never watched it. So you don't watch it and somebody's done gossiping third party to you. You can't defend me because you didn't watch the podcast. What are you a friend for? It's all of those little things like people draining you or draining. It could be anyone in the group. They're the ones that drain. And when they need somebody to fill, then it's almost as if their friendship is inadequate to chime in. Not necessarily financial. It's just, bro, I'm going through this. What's your advice? And they lock up. I've had people come to me, tell me that a lot. At their lowest time, when they really need their friends to step up just to talk.
Yeah.
It's become very difficult for them to get that sort of support they give their friends, reciprocal support. They don't get it.
Support, yeah.
But they only gather to waste. Oh, let's go drink, let's go night out.
Yeah.
And they also do it sometimes. Friends have told me, people have told me about their friends saying they know I don't have money, but yet they drag me to go out with them. And when we go out, I ended up looking stupid because they know I don't have any money to spend. And they're freely willing buying things. I can't drink, I can't contribute because they're expecting me to do a round. Is that friendship? Because if you're really friends, you should know your friend is broke.
Yeah, and that's, you know what? That's one thing that I can never understand because I see this come up a lot. Yep. And I'm like, I've had instances, right, for facts where my friends have been like, Nana, let's go do this, let's go do that. And I'm like, it's not in my budget this month. And sometimes I make this statement, my enjoyment budget is finished. And that means that the money I've set aside that month to do like frivolous things, it's done. And once it's done, I'm not coming. I don't care who you are. So I'm like, it's done, my money is done, whatever. And I have friends who, when in circumstances where I've been like, nah, honestly, I don't have money for this. They'll be like, oh, don't worry, come, I'll pay for you.
Exactly.
And when they say come, I'll pay for you, I kid you not, when I've gone, I've never had to be like thing. But one thing about me is that I'm not that type of person where you can pressurize me to come and spend money I don't have. That's just facts.
So friendship.
But I know people who have been in situations where their friend knows that they don't have money.
Yes.
And then when they go out
put them in precarious situations.
they put them in precarious situations. Yeah. And obviously, once again, depending on like your personality, sometimes you're too ashamed and then you will just go and spend money you don't have.
Use credit card.
And from my perspective, I'm like, that's not your friend. If my friend tells me that, Nana, I don't have money, or like I don't have this, or I don't, it's either A, I'll find something cheaper for us to do. B, if I have the funds and I can cover it, I'll cover it. Or C, I'll be like, all right, don't worry, we can do it another time. And
you just touched on something very important. I've been in a situation where I was about to just spend my credit card, and it was because I was already ashamed and this situation you put me, man. And I'm not going to mention the person's name. This friend said, no, keep your credit card in your pocket. Don't. It's just a night out. Just play away. Find your way out. I was like, no. Guy, I need to buy the drink. And I was stupidly going to that bar.
Yeah.
To buy Glenfiddich. And those dudes said Glenfiddich 250. That's a bottle you will buy if Sainsbury is doing sales for 37 quid.
Literally.
My friend, I don't want to mention her name, she stopped me. She said, put your card back in your pocket. Do not buy anything. Walk away. The day will soon be over. And I still remember that because I would have stupidly spent 200 on something that I didn't have just because I needed to keep up with the Jones or Teddy and co. And that's what friends do sometimes. And when you come up open and be honest and say, look, and this is what I've heard as well, and it's happened. Look, I don't have money to do this. Instead of them to keep it to themselves, they go spread it around. Why Jude not come? Oh, you not get money this week. When did they ever get? It becomes that talk, and they wonder why. And they wonder why you stay away, and they wonder why people stay away, and it happens a lot. So to me, demands on friendship should be there, and it shouldn't be detrimental to anyone.
No,
it should be, guys. Let's grow together.
Yeah,
we've all got different skills, different abilities, but bringing them together, we can harness something out of it.
Yeah.
If I have a vision, you can run with it. You can't run with it, let us know. So we don't go half and half into these things. We're not full heart or full mind to do these things. And there are success stories. AU Vodka is one of them. These were friends who thought we go out all the time and we drink very bland, tasteless vodka. Let's do something.
Yeah.
And bam, we have a multi-million-dollar business. Monzo's got the similar story. Jeff Bezos got the story. Elon Musk got the story. These are friends who've turned up to billionaires. Why in our communities, black people, it's only one arrowhead who carries a whole bunch of people around with them. They call themselves friends. And when that person go broke, everybody just dissipates like that. Everybody disappears and that person suffers. There was a podcast one time about NBA players where this was the story they were talking about. I've forgotten the name. He came out during COVID. It was really good. They just sit round with themselves. Former NBA players. This is basketball. So there were whites among them, Latinos and all of those players. But I think the majority were blacks. Similar stories follow these black players. They were all millionaires at the prime. And one thing they did was drag friends around with them.
Yeah.
Those they thought were my day ones. So that's why I tell people, be careful. Your friend in need, they ain't your friend. Misery loves company. They don't mean they're your friend. Because you suffer together, don't mean they're your friend. They love misery. That's why until you come out before you really say, you weren't my friend, because the snitches start, the backbiting start, every other thing start, envy start. So these dudes went through these things and they went through this real life problem. They took families, cousins, and the so-called friends. You know what happened? None of these friends ever left their bum to do anything. They were just freeloading from all of these players. Both the whites or majority were blacks. And when they had an injury contract, were pear-shaped, went back to these same people, cousins, friends, and all. Can you help me with something? Like, can you help me with this? Say, I don't have it. For real, I don't have. But I gave you so and so to start business. I didn't. I bought the Cadillac. I bought that. Can I stay with you in your house? I don't have a house. I haven't paid the bills. They were shocked. And this is sad stories that continues amongst our community.
No, yeah.
So demands on friendship should be there, but for the positive and the building of that friendship. So that if I have a plumber amongst my friends, I should be running to you. If I have a broken tap or sink and giving you the money, not for free. And I expect you, when you have a plug for what I know how to do, you should be running to me. Not me knowing, oh, my guys, no, do this. People have approached me online and said, we see you link with this company, blah, blah, blah. I say, yeah, I know them personally. I can show you DMs. Put in good words for the people. They don't even know. And business comes to them. I never go back to them and say, give me a coin. These same people, yeah, we know you are a poet, but your poetry is kind of controversial. We can't use it for our activity. And they paid somebody else. And you call yourself my friend? I'm putting it out there that, oh, yeah. And you call yourself my friend? Seriously?
But when... wow.
I'm plugging your business.
Yeah.
I'm a poet, but you don't like my brand of poetry. So you can't pay me, yeah? You took bread from me. So anyone who can take bread from you, they ain't your friends. So friends, instead of having friends, you have hangers on.
Yeah. Your
friendship should be, we're doing things together, we're building. So that when, for example, me and you were friends, we're in the same group of friends, and tomorrow is your graduation party, you don't have to pay for meat pie and for everything. Be like, yay! I turn up with my boxes of meat pie and jollof rice. You share the burden, you lighten the burden. Yeah. You go a long way like that. But if it's one of you always turning up, whether providing the advice, because they know you're a lawyer now, they want to drain you. You must provide all that advice without even that support getting it back. It becomes detrimental to you and to the whole network of friendship.
And to be fair, you saying that, actually, thinking back, right? And this is just me, and actually being appreciative of a particular friend I have, who always comes and be like, oh, you know, doing this transaction with so and so, I just need like a simple agreement. She'll be like, how much will you charge me? And I'm like, mate, half the time I'm like, nah, don't worry about it, just do it. She's like, no. She goes, no, you can't. She's like, you're gonna spend time to do it. Let me at least, and I you know, in those moments, like, but maybe because I'm not really like I don't really speak on it, but actually, like, us having this conversation and me reflecting, I'm actually like, oh, I understand why she always does that.
And God bless you to that friend. And that's a very good appreciation post for a friend. Amazing. Because she knows what the time is. Yeah. She's bringing bread to you. She's not taking bread from you. And that person who can do that personally by herself, when she hears people talking about stuff like that, she's going to run down to you.
Yeah. And it's literally from like her own, and sometimes she'll be like, oh yeah, I've just got this thing, I just need you to look at it, or I want you to just draft this for me. And every single time, I don't think there's ever been a time. So she gets upset when people come to me. She's like, why are they asking you for free stuff? She was like, even me, that I'm your friend, that you, like, she was like, I don't take advantage of you. And she's like, that's what it is. She was like, people, and she would always make me understand. She was like, people take advantage of you because they know your nature and how you are. She's like, you shouldn't allow that.
Well, it shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't.
So no. that ain't your friend.
Yeah.
They're just friend in the friend. No, they ain't your friend.
Yeah.
Because you should grow together and edify everybody around that group. Because iron sharpeneth iron.
Yeah.
If you, as the iron, continue to scrape the plastic, you just be blunt as them. But if you iron sharpens iron, you spark together.
Yeah.
Your growth goes. Nobody is a burden for each other. It is joyful when a group of friends hang out and everybody from their pocket are doing things. You come, you pack your whip, the other one does the same. You live in your nice house. Everybody, you know, the burden is easy. Sometimes you see the lifestyle of these musicians. For example, use Wizkid, Burna Boy, and Davido, for example, because they're the ones reigning. They go to club.
Yeah.
And you don't see any, like, anybody being moody there. They're always happy. You know why? Because everybody's on top of their game.
Yeah.
Friends on top of their game, be able to afford what they want to afford. But typical friend group, you see one of them who's not really there, is disconnected because they can't afford that lifestyle, and they're making it very blindly obvious.
Yeah.
Because you're not really doing things together. You're just wasting together, carrying along each other together, but you're not doing that. And I've heard friends, real friends, who did business together, and one of them was working to bring that business down, and they succeeded. So two of you have a lounge together, and the other one brings all his friends. They never pay for drinks. Why would they pay? They're my friends. But my family come, they pay. But we own this business. Sooner or later, that business was gone. That ain't your friend.
But come on,
your friend should be buying your food. They should be paying for your food.
I mean, at the very least, I always say, even if you're gonna be like, oh, these are my friends, what you could possibly do, at least let them cover the cost.
Yeah.
You don't have to give them the price of, let's say,
yes, exactly.
Hennessy or whiskey.
And that's what I've been saying.
Is £150. But
give them for the 60, you bought it.
Exactly.
You're not losing.
Because at that time, you're not.
Because they might buy like 3 bottles, 4 bottles.
Exactly. This is the thing.
I say this to people. So some people say, it's a joke, and I like that joke. It testifies to friendship, saying, "Oh, your dad works in the bakery. You never bring bread for us." And the dude one day just got pissed and said, "Your dad works in the mortuary. I never saw him bring dead body to share for us." That's it. That's friendship for you. If you expect me to bring bread, your dad should also bring dead bodies and share, because that's where he works. So you see, he wanted it to be a one-sided thing.
Yeah.
And the guy gave him a serious bass boost. So demand on friendship, if it's negative, I say we should desist from it.
Most definitely.
I can't continue because I know that Nana has legal expertise, and I just call you every time on the phone for everything. I should at least one day say, for that thing you did, hold this. People have been kind to me a lot.
Sometimes I always say it doesn't even have to be anything of like monetary value.
That's what I was going.
And that's what people don't understand. It's just like something that's appreciative of everything that you've done. And like, it doesn't have to be. I'm not saying that you call me and I say, oh, I explain a clause to you now, and I come and charge you my hourly rate. No. But it's just a sign of appreciation.
Because if you charge your hourly rate too, that's not being kind to your friendship.
Exactly.
So you shouldn't go with that.
It's not even like nobody's trying to make money or do anything. And I always say like whatever. Like I always happy to talk through things, to do whatever. I mean, it's not legal advice.
Lots of people have been kind to me, but I don't like the kindness.
Yeah, no.
You know the kindness they gave me?
What type of kindness they gave you?
Guess.
Thank you.
Whiskey. They keep giving me whiskey bottles, so I said to them.
But you like whiskey now?
I know I do, but too much, man.
Really?
One time I did a video to say, thank you, but these guys, man, you're not taking care of my liver and kidney, man. Just laughing anyway.
Because they know that you like whiskey.
No, I appreciate it. I'm just joking. I'm just laughing.
Like they know that you like whiskey, so they
no joke.
As a thank you, they bring.
Yesterday I got a nice bottle of Glenmorangie, and that's an expensive bottle. I didn't know it was happening. I just only called this person to say, it's been a while, man. It's been like since Christmas we spoke and actually seen each other. And they say, yeah, I was going to come around and call you. If you're passing by, just pass by and I have something for you. And I drove by yesterday and they handed me that bottle. I'm like, what? I wasn't expecting this, and I left it in the car. So people do appreciate us, not that they don't.
They don't, yeah.
But we're looking at the whole general friendship for now.
Yeah.
There are people in friendship groups who actually suffer. So it's just for us to open our eyes and be aware to that. It could be they're suffering in their relationship. They could be suffering in this country where we are. They weren't born here. They need to regularize their stay. It could be financial. It could be health-wise. We should be open and aware to these things and know when to say, hang on, Jude is not coming out with us. What do you think is happening? Do we go ask? Do we let them be? Let's go ask. If he says leave me be, then we leave him. We know we've.
Yeah.
Or just rather than sit down there and assume. I think people need to be aware of all of that. If you call yourself friends.
No.
Don't call them when you only need something. No,
I agree. I agree. And I always say that when I start to see that our friendship is only based on you ever calling me when you want or need something, naturally, the nature of the friendship will change. And naturally, I will step back. Because then you're a user. Sorry.
You'll die naturally then.
Yeah. Because if you can't just on a day-to-day, just call, just to be like, oh, how are you doing? Or are you okay? Without actually needing anything,
And you fantastic. You said you're a user, and from there it jumps quickly into what we call an abuser.
Yeah.
Because friends can be abused. A relationship
Yeah,
can
of
be
course,
abused.
like any other relationship. Yeah.
And I know it's more detrimental for us who come from that part, who grew up in Nigeria and all of that. Again, it comes to that honesty thing because we were not really brought up to be assertive and honest with ourselves. We're unable to really say it as it is. Instead of us to do, we just go hide in our corner and like, man, I'm tired of this. But instead of us to be open and say, dude, you were this to me, you showed me off that day, you did this. When I was there, you didn't turn up. We're unable to do that. So that dishonest is a big problem in friendship group. Would you not think so?
Yeah, but I also think it's especially when your personality is to keep the peace. You know how there's certain people that they're like, oh, I want to keep the peace.
Yeah.
So in order to keep the peace, they then will keep their mouth shut and they won't actually vocalize how they feel in certain situations because they always want peace to reign. And I think I saw a quote recently about what's the point of you, like, essentially holding back to keep the peace when within yourself you're disturbed. And that resonated with me because I'm like, I feel like I'm a designated peacemaker. And in the moments when you decide not to be a peacemaker, or you're like, you know what, whatever, man, and you think people are always so shocked, and it's like, everybody has their limits, really.
Of course, elastic band. You pull and pull. Sometimes it snaps.
It does.
And it hurts both you and the person.
And that's the unfortunate thing. Whereas if you perhaps had nipped it in the bud a bit earlier, you'd have been able to navigate it and obviously I
understand that a lot.
And work past it. But once you leave it too late and it's like it's an explosion, you never know if you're going to survive that explosion.
True.
Yeah. And on that note, see you next time.